Chargers fans. This is not a drill. You ever feel that buzz in the air, like something massive is about to explode? Well, brace yourself, because what just dropped could shake the entire Chargers stadium. Joe Hortiz, the man pulling the strings behind the scenes, our general manager, just lit up Chargers Weekly with a statement that has fans fired up across the nation. The message? The Chargers aren't rebuilding. They're reloading. And the firepower coming in for 2025? It's nothing short of terrifying. For every defense in the AFC West. We're talking Najee Harris, Amarian Hampton, Mike Williams, Mekhi Becton, just to name a few. These guys aren't just names, they're weapons. Weapons designed to make opponents sweat before kickoff. But here's the real question. Will this brand new squad come together fast enough to dominate the league? Or will too much change backfire? Before we dive deeper into the roster shakeup and what it really means, wait. If you're a real Chargers fan and you don't want to miss a single update, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the latest news. Because what's coming next could change everything. Now, let's get into it. Joe Hortiz isn't just talking tough. On the podcast, he made one thing crystal clear. We're building a team that doesn't just compete, it punishes. After finishing 2024 with 11 wins, he and head coach Jim Harbaugh want more. A lot more. The mission for 2025. Build a roster that's physical, durable, and tough as nails. Players who don't flinch when the game's on the line. And from what we're seeing, they're doing exactly that. Chargers offense. A new beast is forming. Think the Chargers stopped at Najee Harris and Amarian Hampton? Not even close. This backfield is turning into a nightmare for defenses. Enter Raheem Sanders, undrafted, overlooked, but not by Joe Hortiz. He saw Sanders live, ripping through LSU like a missile. That moment stuck. He came flying like a freight train, Hortiz said. Now he's here, and he's not alone. Kamani Vidal, Hassan Haskins, Jared Patterson, all bruisers, all built for one thing, punishment. But why stack so many backs? Because Hortiz and Harbaugh understand one brutal truth. A dominant run game doesn't just move the chains, it unlocks the entire offense. Picture this, defenders forced to load the box to stop the run. Then suddenly, Justin Herbert drops back, with time, with space, and launches a missile downfield. That's a nightmare scenario for any defense. For too long, this team has leaned too hard on Herbert's arm. He's elite, but even a franchise quarterback needs support. This new ground game? It's built to wear teams out, chew the clock, and keep Mahomes sitting cold on the sideline. But here's the first challenge. Chemistry doesn't happen overnight. The season's coming fast. Can all these new pieces click in time? Now, let's talk about the guys catching the ball, the wide receivers. If the run game is the body blow, these wideouts are the knockout punch. Hortiz went to work here. Strategic, aggressive, and smart. He brought back Mike Williams, drafted Trey Harris, and signed Keandre Lambert-Smith. Each one brings something deadly. Mike Williams, physical, trusted, and laser-linked with Herbert. Trey Harris, versatile and sneaky fast, can line up anywhere. Lambert-Smith, the deep threat, pure burner, forces safeties to backpedal. Compared to last year, it's night and day. In 2024, we got crushed by injuries and lack of depth. In 2025, the air attack looks ready to explode. But don't get too comfortable. There's tension here too. Mike's battled injuries. Trey and Keandre? Young, unproven, raw. And let's be honest, Keenan Allen is gone. That's a hole you don't just fill overnight. The fan base is already buzzing. Some, like at Bolt Gang Forever, are all in. Mike and Herbert back? Let's fly. Others, like at Chargers Fan 88, are wary. Talented, sure. But can they deliver from day one? Can the Chargers' offense stay healthy? and deadly? Look, no one's questioning Mike Williams' talent. When he's healthy, he's a nightmare matchup. But if he goes down again, then what? That's the shadow hanging over this wide receiver room. The potential is electric, but the risk is real. Are the Chargers building a dangerous new era, or rolling the dice too hard? Now, let's flip to a spot that needed serious attention: the tight ends. Last season, the red zone was where the offense too often stalled. Joe Ortiz wasn't going to let that happen again. He drafted Aranda Gadsden, a modern-day matchup problem. Big frame, strong hands, fast enough to break away. Then he signed veteran Sam Conklin, a 7-year pro with soft hands and the right attitude. Even with all that experience, Conklin showed up with one mission: get better. Ortiz loved it. This isn't just about having depth. It's about giving Herbert weapons inside the 20. And with Tucker Fisk and the blocking crew still on board, this tight end room suddenly has balance and firepower. Close games. This kind of upgrade can flip them into wins. Now let's talk about what matters most: protecting Herbert. The offensive line got a major reinforcement. Mekhi Becton brings straight-up power. Andre James is reliable and smart. Bradley Bozeman can play multiple spots. Zion Johnson, Jamari Salyer, Trey Pipkins, all back, all battle-tested. Ortiz called this group smart, physical, and versatile. Nothing's locked in yet. He said the lineup is fluid, but they'll find the best 5 by week 1. Now about Zion Johnson. Some fans got nervous when the team declined his 5th-year option, but Ortiz cleared that up quick. It was a cap move. We love Zion. Online, the fan base is split. Zion Fan 22 posted, "This O-line's a wall." But at Bolt Up Now had doubts. No set positions yet. That's risky. Both sides have a point. Can this line gel in time, or will growing pains cost us early? On the other side of the ball, the D-line is getting a full-blown overhaul. Joe Ortiz isn't just adding talent. He's adding guys with a chip on their shoulder. Justin Eboigbe, Tiernan Edwards, Non Jones, Deshaun Hand, all hungry, all physical, all willing to grind. Eboigbe, the guy packed on 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason, plays square, fights through contact. He's the blueprint for what this front line is becoming. Inside the Chargers locker room, something special is brewing. You can see Tiernan Edwards' technique on film, but when Joe Ortiz talks about him, it's not just technique, it's mindset. This guy didn't just show up late last year and blend in, he recruited. He brought Non Jones into the fold, not because someone told him to, but because he believed in what's being built here. That says everything about the new culture under Jim Harbaugh. Ortiz calls it fire meets gasoline, intensity, accountability, brotherhood. You walk into that locker room for one day, and you feel it. This isn't just another NFL team. It's a destination. The proof? Young players like Cam Hart and Tarheeb Still, last year's rookies, are already stepping up, looking ready to make that second-year leap. Everyone's on the same page. From coaches to strength staff to leadership, the entire building is aligned. Even in 2024, the culture was strong thanks to veterans like Khalil Mack and Derwin James. But Harbaugh? He added something else. Fuel. The result? A team that not only believes it can win, but expects to. And yet, there's a storm cloud in the distance. Because overhauls are risky. New names like Najee Harris, Amarian Hampton, Mike Williams, Mekhi Becton, Aranda Gadsden, they all have to gel. Fast. The rookie minicamp was a great sign. High energy, sharp execution, and fierce competition across the board. But this is the NFL. If chemistry lags or injuries strike, and yes, Mike's history is still a concern, the whole machine can sputter. Fans are already split. A Chargers hype is fired up. Harbaugh's got this. This team's built different. But at Bolt Skeptic sees danger. Too many new faces. Not enough time. Chemistry's a ticking clock. What do you think? Because here's the truth. This roster wasn't thrown together. It was tailored for Harbaugh's brand of football. Physical, disciplined, relentless. Ortiz, shaped by his years in Baltimore, knows the value of strong trenches and versatile warriors. He wants players with leverage, technique, and grit. Guys like Justin Eboigbe, who do the dirty work and let the stars eat. On offense, pound the rock, then strike deep. On defense, swallow blocks, and let the playmakers hunt quarterbacks. This is not the same old Chargers. This is something dangerous. The final pieces. Chargers pushing for greatness in 2025. Everything about this Chargers roster screams built for war. Smashmouth offense, relentless defense, a head coach with fire in his veins, and a front office that isn't afraid to roll the dice. But here's the big question. Can they execute from week one? Because that's where everything hangs. Joe Ortiz didn't mince words. Year 2 is the make or break for rookies, and he's been pushing them hard this offseason. He called it moving day. Time to separate the contenders from the pretenders. Justin Eboigbe looks like a different player. Stronger, faster, meaner. Hart and Tarheeb Still, 2 young corners who flashed in 2024, have stepped up their game. They're not waiting to be handed roles. They're taking them. And then there's Justin Herbert, the leader, the cornerstone. He's not coasting on talent. The guy added 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason and hasn't missed a day in the weight room. That's what real leadership looks like. But youth only gets you so far in the NFL. If these young guys don't grow up fast, the road to dominance could get rough, because Harbaugh's system is demanding, and the AFC West doesn't forgive slow starts. Then comes another major storyline, Rashawn Slater. Ortiz was direct. We want Rashawn here. Talks are ongoing, and top-tier left tackles don't come cheap. The truth is, it's nearly impossible to replace a guy like Slater. His technique, consistency, and chemistry with Herbert are elite. On social media, @Slater Fan Club is confident. Slater's the anchor. He's staying. But a Chargers realist is biting nails. If this deal drags out, we're in trouble. One thing's certain, getting him locked down needs to happen sooner, not later. And all this ties into something bigger, culture. Tiernan Edwards, a late-season addition, felt the spark the moment he walked in. He didn't just settle in. He became a recruiter, bringing in teammates who wanted to buy in. Why? Because under Harbaugh, the Chargers aren't just building a roster. They're building a mission. The energy, the buy-in, the unified vision, it's unlike anything this franchise has seen in years. And with veteran anchors like Derwin James and Khalil Mack, the locker room leadership is rock solid. Harbaugh added intensity. Ortiz added talent. Now it's about time. If this team clicks early, they can punch Kansas City in the mouth and shake up the AFC. But if chemistry takes too long or key injuries resurface, all that potential could come crashing down. Chargers Nation is buzzing. Some say Harbaugh's got this. This team's built different. Others warn. Too many changes, not enough time. Which side are you on? Because ready or not, the bolts are coming.